Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The US Supreme Court has upheld a law that bans TikTok nationwide unless its China-based parent company ByteDance sells the platform by this Sunday. TikTok had challenged the law, arguing it would violate free speech for the app's more than 170 million users it says it has in the US. But the argument was rejected by the nation's highest court, meaning TikTok must now find an approved buyer for the US version of the app or face being removed from app stores and web hosting services. However, the outgoing Biden administration and incoming President Donald Trump have been trying to work out a reprieve for the platform, which US authorities have warned poses a national security risk.
We did go on TikTok, and we had a great response with billions of views, billions and billions of views. They brought me a chart, and it was a record, and it was so beautiful to see. And as I looked at it, I said, maybe we got to keep this sucker around a little while, you know.
Users will still be able to use TikTok. They won't be able to get updates on the App Store. New users will not be able to upload it. And eventually the data will start to become, more and more stale with no updates. And that's something that really needs to play out, effective what happens on January 19th.
Levels of the most significant planet-warming gas in our atmosphere rose more quickly than ever before last year, scientists say, leaving a key global climate target hanging by a thread. Concentrations of carbon dioxide are now more than 50% higher than before humans started burning large amounts of fossil fuels. Last year, fossil fuel emissions were at record highs, with the natural world struggling to absorb as much CO2 due to factors including wildfires and drought, so more accumulated in the atmosphere. The rapid increase in CO2 is incompatible with the international pledge to try to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. US President Joe Biden is commuting the sentences of nearly 2,500 people convicted of non-violent drug offenses 3 days before he leaves office. Mr. Biden said the offenders were serving disproportionately long sentences compared to the sentences they would receive today under current law, policy and practice. In an announcement on Friday, Mr. Biden said he had now issued more individual pardons and commutations than any other president in US history. British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has visited the Auschwitz Nazi death camp in Poland ahead of the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the site, which is seen as a symbol of the horrors of the Holocaust. Mr. Starmer was accompanied by his wife Victoria, who is Jewish, at the concentration camp where more than 1.1 million people, most of them Jews, were killed by the Nazis during World War II. Britain's King Charles is due to attend a commemoration service at the Auschwitz-Birkenau Museum and Memorial on January the 27th. China Media Group have held their third rehearsal for the 2025 Spring Festival Gala, with the 4 sub-venues involved for the first time. Chongqing Municipality, Wuhan of Hebei Province, Lhasa of Zhejiang Autonomous Region, and Wuxi of Jiangsu Province have all been selected to stage part of the world's most watched TV program. Along with the main venue in Beijing, these locations will stage singing, dancing, magic, martial arts, and creative fusion performances. The Spring Festival falls on the 29th of January this year. It marks the start of the traditional Chinese Lunar New Year and is China's grandest traditional festival. And after lying hidden beneath meters of volcanic rock and ash for 2,000 years, a once-in-a-century find has been unearthed in the ancient Roman city of Pompeii in Italy. Archaeologists have discovered a sumptuous private bathhouse, potentially the largest ever found there, complete with hot, warm and cold rooms, exquisite artwork, and a huge plunge pool. The spa-like complex sits at the heart of a grand residence uncovered over the last 2 years during a major excavation. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.